happened? Who is he? What are you doing?
He's an old friend.
An old friend who said, "My Jack."
Yeah, I did some work for him back in the day.
And you're doing more work for him now, I assume?
No. He's interested in what's going on. He has business interests across the city, and he's unsettled by the kind of like things that are happening. And he's concerned.
So he knows about the things that are happening.
He's aware that there's been a murder. He's aware that there are people here who shouldn't be here. He doesn't know who any of them are, and he just wants me to keep him in the loop.
And did you keep him in the loop? I shouldn't have to ask these questions, Jack.
I haven't told him anything. I just said I'll keep him in the loop. Yeah, it's the least. He's just paid for our dinner.
Can we trust him?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's all fine. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Can I take a specific "is Jack BSing me right now" test?
That's an insight roll, my friend. David, please give me a deception roll for Jack.
Deception. Do I have deception? Hold on. Oh, I don't have deception.
I think you took intimidation instead.
Yes. Well, intimidation has done me very well so far.
21. Well, 18 plus my 3.
Another one.
Oh my word. Yeah, I think Wendy sees right through this. There is certainly something that Jack is not telling you. There's a deeper relationship there. And there's something kind of like guilty feeling that Jack is keeping hidden beneath the surface there.
Well, that one's not unusual, so I'm probably not going to let that one ring any alarm bells. Okay, so how do I respond to that? Okay, so, well, you can say what you want about it, Jack. I know that you're hiding something. If you don't want to tell us, that's your prerogative, but I will find out.
There's nothing to find out. We'll, at some point when we found out some more stuff, I will meet him again and tell him what we found out.
And no doubt you will. And on that note,
there could be some money for us all in this. If he's a generous man. We can. Sorry, elf. He's a generous elf. He'll look after us. Don't worry.
Would I have any idea about this League of Reasonable People?
Yeah, the League of Reasonable People isn't a secret organization. But if you want to know more, give me a history roll to know specific, more interesting things. But they are one of those typical groups of concerned citizens, often who have various legitimate business interests that they just want to look after.
No, 4. That small ale's rather tasty.
Yeah, I think mainly you just know that they are a group very interested in law and order, who almost seem to place law and order as a moral good in its own category.
Okay. Do we have anything else to do here, or can we get back? I'm starting to feel rather tired.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's all good.
And I swear, if we see that flyer person one more time, I will not be held responsible for what I do to them. Just saying.
Sounds like fun.
Are we going to head out then?
Yeah, come on. Bill's paid. We've got a nightcap with us. It's all good.
Excellent. And you start to head out, make your way back through the streets of Chain to the slightly more homey and upmarket areas. You pass through the district of Hart briefly on the way back to Faria's home in Puzzle. And you arrive on the busy street full of artificers and various artisans of one kind or another who have their workshops and stalls here. And we'll just go to the terrible MS Paint map of that workshop.
Oh, is this what you've been producing it all on?
Yes. Absolutely.
I wondered.
You say terrible, but I can tell that that's a clamp on the left-hand side.
Oh, yes. And
Good.
Is
I'm glad.
Is that a spanner?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an oversized spanner.
Pair of tweezers?
Possibly.
Okay.
I've honestly forgotten what that was supposed to be.
Are they stools next to it?
Yep.
What's the kind of like angle poise thing to the left?
That is a kind of like a pulley and crank system that can be used to move various heavy things around, but it's also can be used to help Faria's father in and out of bed and into various places. So it's both a thing to help with. Yes. So it is both a thing to help with construction and various artificery, whilst also being a mobility aid. And as you arrive back, you can hear the sound of a kettle being boiled, that telltale whistling.
Thank goodness.
And you enter Faria's slightly unruly but very homey feeling house and workshop.
Are Anahiss and Posit and Ick still here?
Indeed, they are. They are kind of seated around the main workbench. And Anahiss is just carrying back over a steaming teapot to the table.
At least they have tea in the Tangle. Not total barbarians. I'm guessing Alan isn't back yet.
No, Alan and Bustius do not seem to be there, but Aidan looks round as you come in, says, "Oh, Faria, and your friends, welcome back. I'm so glad you're all okay. Please sit down. We were just making tea. There's enough for everyone."
Oh, lovely. Hi, Dad. Try and sort of hide the crossbow bolt holes in my jacket and
yeah, you are looking a little bloodstained still, I think. So your father does, after a moment, do a little double take and go, "Oh gosh, you haven't been roughhousing again, have you?"
No, it's okay. It's just grime. Haven't been in the best of places, but it's nothing serious. It's okay. I've been looked after.
Yeah.
I assure you that Faria is safe with us.
Absolutely.
Give me a persuasion. Someone give me a persuasion check with advantage, because you are backing each other up on this.
Oh, I got natural 20.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
yes,
there's
Dad.
just. I think more than anything that was said, you're just kind of projecting this air of like reassurance, comfort, and competence as well. Because for all that this has been a dangerous day for you, you've risen to its challenges, and you're starting to get a handle on what's going on. You feel, and you're feeling that perhaps something about being involved in these kinds of events almost feels right, and that sense of rightness more than anything else is what comes across and sets Aidan at ease.
Cool.
So it's okay. Well, if you're sure, well, let's just all have a cup of tea, and I'm sure we'll all feel better in any case.
Fab. So Bustius,
Anahiss is there.
Posit, Ick, and Aidan are all there.
Yes. Ick is still sitting on one of the shelves within Posit, kind of rattling around a little bit on the shelf.
Can I
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Posit still has some books missing. Is that right?
Indeed, Posit does have a couple of books missing. One of the missing books was one that Ick ate.
Yeah.
And consumed the knowledge therein, which is why Ick is sitting on a bookshelf.
Didn't we grab one in Bustia's house? Or no, it was one of the didn't one of the kidnappers have the book? A book.
The ones
Was
that
that
are
the
missing are,
cipher book?
I thought that was his
ones
diary.
I've got written down that the interplanar motion for when your feet are just not good enough is one of the books that's missing. So that wasn't the one, was it?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
I could be
And
wrong.
then the third one was a secret book.
Okay.
This is embarrassing because if it turns out in one of the previous episodes that you did recover that book, we'll need to retcon this. But I will. By the next time we meet, I'll double check that, and we can confirm then.
Yeah.
Okay. Fab. So the third book, secret book, we don't know what that is.
I have no note.
Posit was not able to remember.
Right. Okay.
But knew at least one more book was missing.
Was it not remembering? I just want to show this to the camera because I'm very proud of my new notebook. Dun, dun, dun. I have the best day job. Cool. So should we potentially let Anahiss know what's been going on since we left him here?
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
Is that something that was said out loud?
Yes. Wendy would have said that. Yeah.
Yep. And Anahiss also chimes in with, "I would love to know what was going on when I wasn't around. Did anything exciting or dangerous happen?"
I'll have Wendy look over to Aidan as she says, "Well, certainly exciting. We're all here, and Alan is also walking around fine. So it really depends on your definition of dangerous."
Can I take my dad to one side because I want to ask him if Anahiss has said anything that we should know about.
Yeah. Aidan kind of wheels off to the side over to kind of the kitchen counter with you, kind of balancing a steaming mug of tea, kind of on the between the chair and his arm. Yes, dear. What's up?
How is Anahiss? How's he been?
Well, he's been, a fairly good guest. Certainly very inquisitive about our lovely city here and the goings on and the things we make. So ask lots of questions. I get the impression that honestly, beneath that though, he's a little shaken.
Okay.
Everything does seem very new to him. He's been a little cagey about where he's from, but
yeah, that was what I was going to ask, if he'd revealed anything about himself or his origin, his lands.
He made a few kind of passing references to his home. Apparently, it was he says he's in retrievals, and I'm not really sure what that means, but it sounds important. But he finds things and finds things out, that sort of stuff.
Okay. But he's nothing that would sort of set up any warnings for you or anything like that, or I don't know.
Well, it depends what you mean. Certainly, there's for someone visiting this city, doesn't seem to have done a lot of research beforehand. Indeed, seems to have had some fairly basic questions about almost how the world works.
Right. So at best, kind of maybe jumped the gun a little bit, or potentially came here in a hurry without much time to prepare.
It's the impression I'm getting for certain.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Actually, I'm just gonna make a persuasion check for Aiden, just to see how much more Aiden might have gotten out of Anahiss in the intervening time.
Okay.
Tell me, because I haven't statted Aiden yet. Is Faria's dad a particularly charismatic man?
I'd say so. Reasonably. I mean, he married my mum at one point, so yes.
Okay, let's add. We'll give him a +6 to this roll.
Okay.
Oh. Less. Saying there was one thing that he did mention. Almost kind of didn't make a huge amount of sense to me, to be honest. Said something about his home and how, depending on how things go, his home and Ramshackle might be a lot closer in future, which didn't seem to make much sense to me if it's a certain distance away. But I suppose there are. It certainly seemed a little perhaps out of place, or maybe even ominous.
Yeah, that's not something that you typically think about happening, regards to separate places moving.
No, but then I suppose the way he described his city was that there was certainly his hometown seemed he said was almost like a floating city, town that kind of floated through some kind of starry void. Got quite almost homesick when talking about it.
Okay.
So maybe it could just float over here. I don't know.
We'll have to see. I think maybe he'll be willing to talk about it sometime when he's a little bit less under duress.
Yes, I mean, it certainly seems like it's been a stressful time for him. So maybe we can, once we've had a chance to decompress.
Yeah, I'm sure the tea will help.
Excellent. I find it always does.
Yeah, very much.
It's just so wholesome. I want many, many episodes just of Faria and Aiden just being like, could you pass me that thing over there, please, dear? I'm here for it, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, the thing I thought when he said you were in retrieval, have you seen the film Brazil? The bad guy torturers work in information retrieval.
Oh.
I'm saying nothing.
So while this is going on, I'm guessing that Jack has been the one to tell or bring Anahiss up to speed, since Jack's the one with multiple notes and David has a better memory than me.
When we were in the inn, we went through the notes and made sense of them, and so I've been relating those to.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're deliberately leaving out, or anything that you're especially stressing?
What was the name of the, not Sabella, what was the name of the person that she was going to be speaking to? Did we get that?
Warden Larrinson.
I think I'd like to ask Anahiss what his relationship is with Warden Larrinson.
Yeah, grand. How are you phrasing that?
So we've heard a name that's come up in our inquiries. We believe they're quite a significant person from the Tangle. We want to know, do you know them? Do you work for them? Or do you work against them? Their name is Warden Larrinson.
Oh, right, yeah. I mean, I think I've mentioned them before. But Warden Larrinson's, one of the head warden of Tangle. The one who says, oh, you shouldn't go out that gate over there. You shouldn't bother any of the other planes. we've got everything we need here, and it's dangerous out there. They've got dangerous ideas, which honestly never really sat well with me because I like finding things out. You know, I always figure the more you know.
Was Anahiss just putting a voice on to sound like Warden Larrinson? Because I'm also here for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. Sorry.
So yeah, now I'm saying like one of the reasons I came here was like after we all heard that message from Ambrose and Bustius that I was on a job and you know, I overheard some things. You know, I'd been hired to, let's just say, retrieve someone's property that was no longer in their possession, and this took me to one of the kind of, you know, the warden's complexes, and I happened to overhear a kind of like meeting they were having where Warden Larrinson was talking about how, you know, the impact of this message and how it meant people all riled up, and like, you know, the Tangle Liberation Army were really hoping to make a push to leave, and how they had to stop that, yeah, kind of like at any cost, really. And yeah, so I figured I really wanted to try and get out ahead of them and kind of make sure people knew, because there could be some pretty bad consequences.
What are the Tangle Liberation Army trying to liberate themselves from?
I mean, kind of just from the Tangle. Like, they just... like, their whole deal is kind of like the opposite of the Warden's whole deal.
Okay.
They'd really like better relations with people outside the Tangle and to be able to travel more. Tangle's a weird place, you know. It's really hard to set up a stable passageway to other kind of realms. The fact that you all were able to send us a message, and that seemed to, once we'd heard the message and knew the people, it felt like that kind of became almost a more stable connection. So I was able to kind of like reverse engineer my way through almost like following that message. But that's kind of how I got here. But they have, obviously, because I've seen like the big gate that you all have here, and we've got a gate that looks actually kind of similar on our end, only it's pretty temperamental. So I think that Warden Larrinson was planning to go through like the main gate to get here, and I kind of like took the sneaky back way.
It's interesting that you have a portal even when there are so many people within the Tangle who are set against any kind of outsider accidentally or otherwise getting involved with you. Yeah,
it's a pretty sturdy thing. It's a thing. It's like a magical artifact, so it's difficult to destroy. And I think that there's a strong school of thought was that if you did destroy it, like the kind of like there might be like a kind of magical backlash thing that might be bad news for the people, you know, living nearby it.
Have people tried it before?
Like supposedly a long time ago, the wardens kind of like looked into it, but yeah, again the I think there were like some kind of like auguries that were done, and they all said no, that's bad news.
Do we know what the object is that you have come here to retrieve? You say you've come here to retrieve some lost property.
Oh no, I didn't come here to retrieve lost property. I was retrieving some lost property for a client. And that's why I was in like the warden's kind of like place. One of their, yeah, like again, complex is what they call it. It's basically just, you know, like a fancy house that with lots of big walls.
So, do you think it would be a good idea if we met Warden Larrinson?
In my experience, well, like, Warden Larrinson is pretty hardline. I've certainly tried to avoid meeting him wherever possible, because I'm someone who, you know, likes going places and finding out things that perhaps people like Warden Larrinson think I'm not supposed to. You know, I've never managed to leave the Tangle before, but certainly I've tried. So, and like, the thing is with back home is that people have got kind of like long memories. So like they can hold a grudge and really make you, once you get on the bad side, hard to get back on the good side.
So his xenophobia, is that rhetoric, or is he actually going to hate us if we meet him?
Like, I, again, don't know him super well. From what I've heard, like, he'll probably want to have fairly well-defined parameters around that meeting, because like the more that he interacts with you and the more like he learns from you, the more likely he is to like be corrupted by exposure to outside influences.
Oh, I see. So it's kind of he's very into his kind of purity of Tangle and the people who live there.
Yeah, very kind of, like other planes are dangerous, they'll corrupt our way of life, kind of thing.
Okay.
So that suggests to me that we won't have long when we do meet him. So we need a solid plan of action. None of this going in with just a wing and a prayer, Jack.
What happens if he encounters something, say, for argument's sake, Tangle was to come across another world? What would Larrinson do?
Like, the main thing Larrinson's done in the past, when like our gates have opened up, and again, it's like it doesn't happen very often, but like occasionally either someone will try and make contact with us, or like the kind of like worlds and planes will align. Normally his move is to like barricade the gate.
Okay.
Just to stop anyone getting through.
If we meet him, would you being there be a help or a hindrance, do you think?
I would not be keen on that. I feel like it would be a hindrance to me and my well-being in future.
But what about to our interaction with him? Because I've got a long list of crimes that you're kind of up for here. Maybe some of those might disappear off the list.
Yeah, no, I get that. And again, like, I'm still trying to get my head around the idea of what's a crime here. So
negative consequences will be less for you.
Yeah, okay, no, I see that, and you know, I do hate negative consequences.
I feel like it sounds to me like you're in a situation like negative consequences are kind of an inevitability one way or another, but I would like to avoid that for you if that's possible.
Thank you. So would I. I think you'll need to make me a persuasion check if you want Anahiss to kind of like agree to come with you to that future meeting.
Okay. I mean, I'm not particularly interested in it, but
that's
yeah.
It would also be a thing. If Jack wanted to make a persuasion or indeed intimidation check, that would also be valid.
I think I'm going to work on persuasion at the moment. This doesn't necessarily mean we're going to take them, but I think that the door is open right now. So I want to be able to take Anahiss if we decide we suddenly want to. So I'll do the persuasion check now. Oh, for God's sake. That's a 2.
Cool.
And I don't have anything to add to that. So.
Well, you add your charisma bonus, so it's still
5.
Yep.
What if Anahiss was to come with us, but not necessarily be at the meeting unless something happened and we felt we needed him?
You could definitely try to argue for that. Hugo, did you make a roll for Faria as well?
I did. 21.
Cool. So with a 21 and with that kind of reassurance that you would be trying to protect him, he goes, all right, look, if you lot reckon you can, keep me safe, because I'm still not 100% sure that what happens if I die here, normally, people are back home when that happens. You come back after a little while, but I'm only finding out for the first time here that sometimes that doesn't happen in some places, which is wild to me. So yeah,
You're worried our physical law is going to apply to you.
Yeah, by law, you mean as in the laws of your reality, or the laws of your society? I'm worried about both.
And you're worried that Larrinson might kill you. Yes,
and I'm worried that your whatever law and order structure you have here will also kill me. But if you think you can keep me safe, then I'll trust that. You've been kind enough to give me some leeway here, so I can extend that trust back to you.
We'll do our best.
Do we have the death penalty in Tangle? Not Tangle, Ramshackle.
That's a very good question. I haven't defined a lot of the punishments here. I know what several of the kind of bases for the laws are, but I think that what would happen is there would be a kind of tribunal of sorts who would decide on an appropriate punishment. I think the death penalty would be on the table, but very rarely used.
I mean, I'm looking at the list of crimes, and murder is up at the top there. But there's an argument to be made that you have to have knowledge that difference between manslaughter and murder is intent.
Indeed.
Anahiss probably doesn't have intent.
Yeah, and I think in the city of Ramshackle, even murder wouldn't come with a death penalty as standard. There would have to be an argument made in a tribunal that this was the only appropriate punishment for a crime.
Okay.
So it would be for someone who poses a clear and present danger, not just to an individual, but largely to the city as a whole.
The reason I asked this is I wanted to say to Anahiss, I'm sure you can make sure that the death penalty is not on the table. You're being very cooperative, and yes, I'm sure we can work something out.
Grand. Okay, yes, I'm interested in this. Cool. So, yeah, again, let me know what I can do to help, and we can just talk through when it comes up what you'll do to keep me safe when we're doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure it will not be tonight. We can rest for a little bit.
Seconded.
Phew, that would be, because it's been, I'd honestly, I'd just love to get the chance to experience a bit more of this, whole new world before anything too drastic happens. That would be great.
Well, welcome to the team.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, because again, not sure how long it'll be before you want to do your things, and not sure how long it'll be before Warden Larrinson does whatever probably drastic stuff that he's going to do. So yeah, being a part of a team in the meantime sounds nice. On the mention, by the way, of drastic things that Warden Larrinson might do, and given the conversation that you've had, especially the questions asked about has anyone tried to destroy the gate in the Tangle before? I'd love to get Arcana rolls from everyone.
7.
11.
17.
Okay, cool. So those on a 15 or above, which is just Jack.
Faria is really tired right now.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. Jack is aware that in the past, some people in Shackle have considered whether it wouldn't just be better to destroy the gate, the great portal that exists here. What's largely stopped them is that anyone with the knowledge to do so has also had the requisite knowledge that the consequences of destroying the gate are not well understood, but they would probably be catastrophic for anyone in the immediate vicinity. The exact consequences would be unclear, but certainly there would be an outpouring of magical energy that would be difficult to control.
I imagine Jack probably was investigating these people while we were in order.
Yep, that sounds absolutely right.
James, we did actually do some stuff that can probably go into a video. It wasn't all.
Yes, we had sensible conversations.
Honestly, I think confirming that not just the Squid Game tokens, but that all NFTs are indeed a scam is something that can definitely go into an outro.
I'm happy for IQ to have that stance.
Yeah.
Official.
I just like that now it stands for now filing taxes.